Welcome to our channel, PyramidTimes. So you have mentioned that planet Earth will help the soul's growth and its acceleration. And also that is why a lot of souls choose to come onto the planet Earth. It's
Definitely
a
at the
part of the
moment.
process.
This
Yes,
is
this.
the time we've been waiting for. I've been waiting for the lifetimes for this, and getting prepared and sort of, having difficult experiences and coming back and coming back and coming back and coming back because it's sort of something that happens every 26,000 years. Like what happened on the 21st of December 2012 was that the sort of core of planet Earth lined up with the center of the Milky Way galaxy, and this energy started coming in, and it was never a definite thing that it would happen. Like a lot of there were a lot of prophecies like Nostradamus and people like that said we were going to destroy ourselves. And apparently, we have destroyed ourselves 4 times before, and as human beings, and we were sort of on course to do it again. And then something shifted in 1987. The first of this beautiful energy started coming in, something called the harmonic convergence. And if you look at the history of the world, in 1989 there were lots of things that happened, and then the USSR sort of almost rolled over. Everything changed, and so as a response to this energy, and there were a lot of children that were born around then. My daughter was one of them. That sort of brought in this new energy to help with this shift. So we're right in the middle of it now, and quite a few teachers, they seem to say that it's going to keep by 2032 we will be fully in the fifth dimension. So what we're doing at the moment, we're sort of moving through the fourth. And the fifth dimension is very different because it's not a linear thing, and it opens up a whole new world of, it's much closer to connect to the soul, it's much closer to connect to the multi-dimensional aspects, and it's going to open up a whole new world really. And the Akashic record, of course, carries this whole same energy. So it's quite a gentle place to just get accustomed to what's going to happen in our future. So I believe the Akashic records are sort of a nice, gentle, little safe place to go to, just to acclimatise to the energy, get used to it, get used to the fact that what we've sort of seen as human life for, many has actually been quite limited, and there's just so much more to it than what we've believed and what we've thought. The fifth dimensional energy, which is also the energy of the Akashic records, will open us up to our souls much more. So I think, in the future on this planet, we're going to be much more closely connected to our soul. And that's one of the things, I think the Akashic records, one of the best things I've got from them is I think I live a much more soul-centered life now, because every time I open the Akashic records and I'm in that energy, I'm connected to my soul. So you can't, you've got to be true to yourself. You have to live differently. And I've still got a way to go, but I think, when I look back to how I was, I think I've changed a lot. And it helps with, intuition and just tapping into your inner truth and having the strength to live it. So the ascension process, they're saying will finish in about 2032. But, we're not going to be in linear time, so constrained by linear time. So it's around then. So we're sort of right in the middle, really. We've still got quite a long way to go. And about 2 years ago, I was thinking, I don't know how humanity is going to get to the point of, being able to ascend and being able to live in a fifth dimensional vibration and get beyond fear and get beyond suffering and get beyond sort of hurting each other. And by then, it didn't seem long, but now, of course, this year that question's been answered because we've got COVID. And it's like completely, like it's a real game changer. I think it's completely changing the world. So there's a lot of turmoil at the moment, but one way I find the Akashic records help me is whenever I'm in them, it's quite a safe place. I feel it's like a sanctuary and a bit of a safe haven to go to sort of shut, the rest of the world out. And it is a place where drama doesn't really exist. It's got that beautiful energy and fear doesn't exist. So even if, you learn how to access the Akashic Records, just to be in that energy, and it will help you with your life, because it's easier to cope, with the human dramas that are, surrounding us, if you've got that nice little place to go back to and connect with your soul and connect with your heart. I think that was as I said earlier, that was the thing that really saved me and helped me, because it lifted me out of the suffering that I was experiencing, and the fear and the anguish and all the emotional. It sort of lifted it up. What I've been able to do as well as with the Akashic Records is, as I said before, like a lot of us are doing our clearing and releasing, and looking back, like my daughter's illness brought up so much that I need to clear, like old beliefs, fears, patterns of behaviour, just things like self-sacrifice, all the things I need to clear on a soul and human level were sort of triggered really by the emotions of her illness. But, in the Akashic Records, I've been able to work with myself to sort of find, the root cause of some of those beliefs. A lot of us feel very unworthy. A lot of us have a lot of self-doubt. A lot of us have beliefs like I deserve to suffer, or I am a failure, or so there's all these things. And I probably, if you had a whole list of limiting beliefs and sort of sabotaging patterns of behaviour and fears, I'd probably would have ticked every box. But the Akashic Records have sort of helped me identify them, sort of find the backstory, behind, why have I got these deep feelings of self-loathing. I haven't got them now, but definitely when I was young I came into this life with them, and my life I had before this was quite a difficult one, but I was able to get information all about that, and it makes total sense. So you get that sort of continuity, and it's been a really helpful place for me to, for personal development, for self-awareness, for healing, and the thing that I love about the Akashic Records is you can actually use them to help yourself, and they're tools that anybody can use. Probably 99% of the people that I've taught how to access the Akashic Records, who've been my students, have been able to do it. Occasionally I'll get one person who I have to put in the too hard basket, maybe about once a year, but usually there are people that have this sort of fear. They think, I won't be able to do it. They have a fear that they won't be able to, they won't be able to do it. So, at the moment we create our reality through what we're thinking. So I think that can cause blocks, but most people can do it. I never felt that I had any spiritual gifts really. I was just a sort of ordinary type person, but I can do it. I can get information which is really meaningful to me and meaningful to my clients and makes sense to them. And, it just comes in a stream of words, which I either speak or I write, because I can do email reading. And so if I can do it, like anybody can do it really. And what I love about it, it's a tool that, you don't have to be like a psychic, or, you don't. You just have to, it's very easy to tap into it. And I've got a lot of people that I've taught now who are out there giving readings for more people. So it's sort of a wonderful thing that's sort of spreading, and, like a network, and it's fantastic. I think, in the old energy, it was always about like getting people to fix us, going to somebody, to not really perhaps taking responsibility, trying to get somebody to heal us and to fix us. And the thing about the Akashic Records is, anyone can really use them to help themselves. And, the new energy that we're going into is really about empowerment. It's not about, having to go to other people. The only thing about my job, like, that makes me feel a bit, I'll just blow my nose, a bit nervous at times is, like, I'll meet people and they'll say, I came to you 8 years ago and you said this. And when I go have a session with somebody, within about 3 hours, I've completely forgotten what I've said, what happened. I forget it, which to me sort of suggests, that it's part of me that sort of steps aside, when I'm in the Akashic Records and I've been in a sort of an altered state. And I think that's quite good. But like, I've never had anybody say, "Oh, you told me this and I did it." And I mean, people are always grateful and happy. But I do think, I don't like the fact, people that sort of rely on what, I always tell people to be discerning with what I say, and, to just take it with a grain of salt, because basically it's down to us to make the decisions for our own lives. And I am a bit uncomfortable with the whole fact of, somebody, placing more importance on what I might say than what they feel inside. So anyway, so that's the only thing. But, if people come to me too often, I don't let them. They have to go away. I get them to learn how to do it for themselves. I don't let them sort of keep coming back, because I know that I can teach them, and they can do it for themselves. So
Yeah.
I think that's good. So that's good, because you
So
don't.
you clearly, so you clearly explained how Akashic records are helpful and how it will facilitate healing and the guidance as well. But few people, even myself, a Akashic records healer, they come asking about what is our life purpose? Are we on the right path? Even you have emphasized this particular part in your book as well.
Yeah.
So
I
will
love
Akashic,
that.
so will Akash, yeah. So will Akashic records provide empowerment as well in this direction?
Well, so looking at life purpose, that's the question that I love the most. I love that question. And even if people don't want to ask it, it's basically like the first thing I always look at. I always want to see what their potential is, what their highest potential for that lifetime is, and what their purpose is. Sometimes I'll get a really detailed description of something, really detailed. Other times it's really quite a sort of sketchy sort of thing, like, you are here to help transmute the fear on the planet and blah, blah, blah. It's quite a generalized purpose. And what I find is whatever you get to sort of share with each person is perfect for where they're at and what, they're supposed to know at that time. So it's almost like it sort of gets a bit censored. And sometimes at the start of a reading, I might come through with what I see as their life purpose, because I do find it fascinating. And then as the reading goes on, there's other little bits pop up. And at the end, often I might look at it again and get some more information for the person. But, I've got a lot of people I'm giving readings to now who are out there living their life purpose. And quite a lot of them come to me and, within about 5 minutes, because it's the thing I always look at first, because I love looking at it. If I sort of say something, well, I feel you're supposed to be here to, I don't know, oh God, I'm trying to think of someone I've had recently, but, if I say to them what they're actually considering doing, and I'm a complete stranger and they're getting confirmation that what they're feeling in their heart they need to do is the right move, then it's often all they need to sort of get them to sort of take the steps that they need to take towards their purpose. So it's like gives them, okay. Oh.
Yeah, sorry.
That's all right. So sometimes it just gives people confirmation, and it's like then when they hear that, they think, God, this complete stranger has said what I've been dreaming about my whole life. This is what I'm here to do. And I think, what was really in your heart is always your life purpose, really. And sometimes one thing I'm really proud of is sometimes I just give people that encouragement and it helps them, and they take that step, they take that leap of faith, and it's wonderful to sort of see them out there, living it and, doing, and I think, so sometimes it is helpful to have somebody who's a complete stranger that you've never met before telling you things, because it really can help you, just give you that push to put your plans into action, because it's always difficult taking that first step. And you'll probably learn this yourself, like you actually have to, we have freedom of choice and we have to take that step, and nobody else is going to really take it for us. And but once we take it, it's like something kicks in to really support us, but we have to take that step. And at various way, you know, along the journey, we it's like an initiation almost. We still get challenged, but once we sort of give the green light and, you know, let the universe know that we're serious, you know, there's so much help out there, yeah, so it's just human life, really. It's like the help's there, but we do have to ask for it, and we can't sort of, we do at some point, we have to on a soul level step up and make, you know, listen and make that decision ourselves. No one's going to really do it for us because it's our journey, and no one else can walk it or live it, really. So.
Yes. So you explained it so profoundly, and there are a lot of topics you have discussed in book. Every chapter is very insightful. It gives a clear idea what the stuff is all about. Even though I have read a lot about Ascension and Star Children, all these things, and this book was even providing more depth knowledge. Although it looks very simple, but it is very helpful for, especially for who does the Akashic Records practice and all these things. So how do we get the copy of the book, and who are your target audience?
Okay, so if anyone wants a copy of the book and they live in New Zealand, they can actually get one from me. But otherwise, it's available on Amazon. The next book will be available hopefully early next year. I am thinking now, yesterday I got sort of told, oh, you could get it out by Christmas. And I thought, well, it might be quite a good idea to get it out by Christmas. So today I've got my daughter, the one I talked about before, doing like a cover because she's very artistic, and I think it'd be lovely to have, you know, the next book to have her do the cover. So you can get this book, The Magic of the Akashic Records book, and the next one early next year through Amazon, and it's on Amazon as a paperback and also as a ebook. And Book Depository is really good because it's free postage, so I'd really give them a bit of a plug. So it's on Book Depository as well. So that's how they get it. And it's probably a bit expensive to post from New Zealand, but that probably the best way to get it, the cheapest as a paperback, would be Book Depository.
Yes, and the links to the Chris book will be provided below this video. You can definitely go through the details, and also all the links related to her work and the website will be provided below this video.
Okay.
And do you want to speak more about the upcoming book, a gist of it, what it is all about?
Well, the upcoming book is it's still got a bit of a thread of the family story, because the first one's got quite a strong thread about the family story, but it's sort of really been the last 4 years, and it's also got stories of clients and different things in it as well. It goes into the healing a bit more deeply, so it's got a whole chapter on the family ancestral healing and how, I work in the Akashic Records with people for that. It's got a whole chapter on trauma. It's what else? It's a lot of it's about what we need to do, like as human beings, to sort of let go of the old and step into the new. I talk also about, there's a whole chapter on the soul called The Magnificence of the Soul. So it's got in it what I've learned about the soul through working in the Akashic Records. And there's another chapter on multidimensionality, because what's happening at the moment as the vibration increases, we're going into there's a lot of different dimensions, and it's much easier to sort of connect with those. And whenever you're actually in the Akashic Records, you are sort of traveling interdimensionally anyway. So there's stuff on that. So it's a lot of new stuff, but it's against the whole, there's a bigger picture in the new book, because it's more about what that we're going through globally as a planet. And I knew I couldn't finish it last year, but it's like I had to wait for this year for the whole COVID thing. But it's got quite a lot about what we're really trying to release and move beyond and transcend. It's just the old, I call them the old boys club. Those beings that have dominated the planet, and we're moving into. There's a chapter on the old souls and the millennials. So it talks about the roles of the old soul, as I said before, to clean up the mess, and what the millennials are here to sort of roll up their sleeves and, get the job done and finish the job and take us into a whole new era of human life. So yeah. So the subtitle of the book is how the Akashic Records, this is just a subtitle, can help us move beyond suffering. So the first bit is looking at what we still have to transcend, and it's written in quite a simple way like the other book, and I try to make it interesting with stories and things like that. And then it moves towards, you know, where we're heading, and it's I've tried to make it like a really positive book. It is positive. And the thing about the Akashic Records is they hold the energy of the past and the future. So they're a great sort of bridge, ascension tool to sort of bridge, you know, go from the past lives and things like that, and into, you know, the higher vibration of the quantum world that is opening up to us.
So like your first book, this second book also be providing a lot of insights why we are undergoing a lot of changes at this particular point of time. And it will also help us to grow in our soul path, definitely. We are looking definitely forward for that. And whenever your book is ready or going to be released, we can definitely have one more interview with you on the new coming book.
That'd be lovely. It'd be lovely. I've learned a lot since I wrote the last book, and I'm in a much better place. So in my family, it's been amazing. You know, what's happened with my children, what's happened for my daughter that I write about in the book, what's happened for me. It's almost like, you know, that terrible, this experience we went through, which was so difficult, has sort of set us all up for the work that we're here to do, for our purposes and our missions. And my children now, my oldest one that I write about in the book's 31, but the others are in their 20s, and they're just beautiful souls. And I can sort of see, you know, just how, you know, it's like there's a puzzle and all the bits to fit it in. And, you know, we're now in a really, really good place. And just so grateful for that. So, and without the Akashic Records, honestly, they've made it, they really have helped hugely.
Also, we would like to know the courses that you offer. Is it about Akashic Records?
Well, I've got a website. I think the details are there. The website's at the moment, I'm changing it, but it's www.akashicreadingsnz.com. I have got like a course that anyone can go on, they can learn. It's a course that you work through yourself for about 8 hours. It takes about 8 hours, and you learn basically how to read the Akashic Records for yourselves and others. But I do regularly run group courses by Zoom. They're not expensive, and I teach what I know to people as well. I've got a course starting this weekend actually, but yeah, so I do that, and you know, they're all recorded, so if people can't make the time, they can listen later. I try to make it affordable because I want, you know, as many people to get these tools as possible. So there's a level 1 course, the level 2 course goes a bit further into the healing. There's a level 3, which at the moment I've only done sort of as a residential. So yeah, so there's all details about that on the website. Yeah, and I do teach. Sometimes I had a man in Dubai this morning who it was 11 p.m. at night there, and I taught him one-on-one. So I can teach this just to individuals or small groups as well.
It was wonderful discussion we had, Chris. Our viewers and ourselves definitely felt the energy of the Akasha, and the light of the Akasha is. We are bathed in the light of the Akasha, literally, through your interview.
I know.
Yeah.
I've loved it. I love your smiling face, and you've got beautiful energy. I can see it coming out from your. Yeah, I know.
Yes.
So thank you so much for getting in touch with me. I've really enjoyed it.
So do you want to give a technique on any technique for our viewers?
I'll just end. This is like a little positive technique. Just anyone that's listening to this, just to end on. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to easily take you into a Akashic record. I'm going to connect you with joy and happiness. And so hopefully it's a good thing to end the interview on, because people will hopefully go away feeling uplifted and feel good and get a little taste of, you know, the beautiful energy that we've been talking about. So I'll take you through it now, Venus. So just close your eyes. And I ask that the Akashic records of all those listening to this now be open. So keeping your eyes closed, quietly in your mind, just ask to be shown a lifetime where you experienced great joy and happiness. So just keep your eyes closed and just go with whatever you see. Don't worry if you don't see anything. Just ask to be shown a lifetime where you experienced joy and happiness. And in your mind's eye, see yourself as you were then. Can you see, just keep your eyes closed, Veena, but can you see somebody? That's great. So just sense them and try to sense a bit of, what their life was about, why they were so happy. Just ask any questions in your mind that you've got about that lifetime. And you might get little mental pictures of how you lived that life, what was happening. So now what I want you to do is see yourself in your mind's eye standing in front of yourself in that other life. And I want you to look into the eyes of your past life self and hold their hands, look into their eyes and ask them, how can I bring more joy and happiness into my life? How can I bring more joy and happiness into my life? And listen really carefully to what they have to say to you. So now I just want you to picture yourself hugging them and pulling in all their gifts, abilities, wisdom, all the gifts, abilities, wisdom that you had in that lifetime. Pull all that in. Open your heart to them and pull in all those beautiful memories from that lifetime of the joy and happiness that you had then to help you in your life now. Just feel that energetic of the joy. I think the highest vibration, I think, is love, but joy comes a close second. And I think the thing about the Akashic Records is has got that vibration of joy, and I love joy and happiness. So just make the most of that energy. I'm going to have to close everyone's Akashic Records now, so I ask that the Akashic Records of all those listening to this now be closed. But know that you can open your eyes now. So open your eyes, but just know that that past life self that you saw is still there, but always there. And if you feel like a bit of joy and happiness, you can just close your eyes and connect with them instantly. And either ask from guidance for them or just pull in some of those feelings that you had in that lifetime.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Those past lives are so lovely, and I got a very deep insight out of this exercise, that how I can be in allowance for my clients as well in their healing processes, and how to facilitate their acceleration of their soul growth as well. It became so clear for me how I can be an open channel for their growth as well.
That's fantastic. Yeah, that's wonderful. Oh, thank you.
Yeah. It helped deep into my heart, the words you spoke and the experience you showed over in the records. It really went very deep and very insightful. I'm sure this would help anybody to realize their own purpose and understand their relationships in a better way, and even their soul path they could understand better using just this exercise.
Well, thank you. That was just a little one, but I have got, I've got products on my website with different little courses and audio things that people can
Yes,
use as well.
Yeah, definitely. Our viewers will be going through all those products. Yes, yeah,
Thank you.
and we are looking forward to have you more on our channel,
I'd love
sharing your
that.
insights.
I'd love that. I love talking about the Akashic Records. It's my passion. And I love India. Like, it keeps popping up. I've got a hairdresser who, she's Indian.
That's the wisdom.
And I told her, she said, "Oh God, you're always talking." And our neighbours are from India, so I know, fantastic. When she told me, I think there's 1 billion people. So then I thought, gosh, that's probably why, But yeah. Hey, so lots of love to you. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much,
Thank you
Chris.
very much, and have a lovely
Yes.
day, won't you? And we'll
Yes.
stay in touch.
Yes, definitely.
Please subscribe to the PyramidTimes channel. You
Thank
go
you,
on
Chris.
YouTube and you subscribe, don't you? Yeah. No. So I will subscribe.
Yes.
Instantly.
Thank you
No,
so
I will.
much.
I think I have. I think I have already. Thanks. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Chris.